Hey everybody, welcome to the Coach Martin Show. I'm your host, Coach Martin, and today we're going to talk about permission to take an adventure. So this is interesting because every week my wife and I do an actual marriage class at our house. And so we go through different topics. And when this one popped up, I was like, man, this is pretty cool. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, wow, there's going to be some people that like to take adventures. And then there's other people that are going to not so much. Maybe they played safe. And then all of a sudden through my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, those people, will this offend them? But then we got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm going to just do it because I think this is such a great topic. And I think it could really change lives. So I'm going to talk about this for a second. Are you open to taking an adventure? And I want you to think about this. So when I say taking an adventure, I'm not just talking about packing up the family and going on a trip to Hawaii. Sure, that would be an adventure. But I'm talking about taking an adventure in life, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you guys, you do it together, whether you are maybe married, but, you have, an adventure that's in your heart that you want to do. And then maybe your spouse has one as well. It doesn't matter. It's all of them apply. So I want to talk about this for a second, giving you permission to take adventures. So in my deal, I have a couple pieces that I literally wrote down. So I'm going to give you an example, and then I'm going to kind of go into you. So I have two pieces. So one piece in particular, right kind of where we live, we have used to be a Bible college. Now it's it's like a spa deal. And it's a beautiful piece of property. And, it's on my wall in my prayer closet. And I, Lord willing, am going to purchase that one day. But when I think about this adventure on being able to do that, it's not just yay, I get to have this. I think of all the groups out there that can participate in this endeavor, right? Whether it's the church, having church there, or whether it's a organization that's running their organization through there, or maybe you have, Christian business conferences there constantly, or maybe you have camps for kids, or for camps that for kids that have been abused and, bullied. You have housing for single moms that are down on their luck. So you have this space that all these people can really, really make a difference. And the ripple effect through that can be enormous. So, being able to go down that path where you can, you take the adventure where you can really create something super, super cool and super special. Now, maybe you're thinking, well, man, that seems kind of big. Maybe my adventure is smaller. Well, it can be smaller. The beauty of it is it doesn't matter. It could be small, it could be big. But the thing about it is the ripple effects from doing it and from taking the journey can be huge. And I always think of two people. I'm going to give you an example. Way back in the day, we know Christopher Columbus, right? We have Columbus Day. We get all that. He sailed across the ocean. He found the land. And whatever you're thinking regardless, I want you to think about this country in general. This is, we are the richest country in the history of the world. We are a country that helps and gives to other countries on such a huge scale that we truly make a difference. We make a difference. We keep peace. We do all of that. But if that man didn't take an adventure way back in the day and go for it, there would be no America, right? So you think of the ripple effect from him taking the adventure that one day where he was like, I'm going to go for it. Obviously a lot of things probably went through his head, fear, he was scared, all of that stuff, right? He could have died, but it didn't stop him from doing it. And another person, obviously we all know the Lord. You're talking about somebody who's the King of Kings. He's, God in flesh, decided to, leave all of that, come to earth, become a man, go through all the pain and the obviously the experiences he had to do. But if he didn't take that adventure, you and I wouldn't be saved, right? So I'm going to encourage you, right? If you're a guy or you're a girl listening and you're in the, playing it safe, man, I'm going to encourage you, don't. Whatever you feel is in your heart, especially if it bubbles up over again, trust me when I tell you, if it's bubbling up, it's because God put it there, right? So first thing I'm going to ask you to do is one, maybe write that down. So throughout the course of a week, when something keeps bubbling to the surface, write that down, because the truth of the matter is maybe that's your purpose. Maybe God put that in your heart for a particular purpose, right? And we're just used to kind of ignoring that. So write it down. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is after you write it down, give yourself permission to take the adventure, right? Give yourself permission. Now, we had a person yesterday that was talking about something that they had where it was on their heart and it's been bubbling up, but then they felt like, well, I'm not qualified, I'm not good enough, I'm not, fill in the blank. And here's the deal. If you're thinking that, that's from the enemy. We know that. And if it's fear is not from God. Fear is from the enemy, right? So tune out the noise. If God put it in your heart, he put it in your heart for a reason. I heard one person say one time, if God put a Goliath in front of you, it's because he thinks there's a David in you, right? So it's a beautiful phrase to remember. If God put it in your heart, he's going to see it through, right? So don't be afraid to take the adventure. It has the ability to not only impact you and your family moving forward, but so many other people. And I'm going to encourage you today. I think that we all should be adventure takers. We really should. And I think that one day when we do it, we'll look back and be thankful that we actually took that first step. So, hey, hopefully you got something from this. If you are one that really, truly does play it safe, just pray about it and just do me a favor. When you feel like that thing's bubbling up, because it will, write it down. And I think once we see it on paper and we see it more often than not, then we'll get to the point where like, well, wow, maybe God did put this in my heart. Maybe that's why it's there. Because truth of the matter is, that's probably why it's there. So definitely glad you guys are participating in this. Make sure you visit us at CoachMartinShow.com. We'd love to hear feedback from you. Visit us on social as well. Share our video, share our podcast. We love you. And until next time, I'm Coach Martin. I'm out.